Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. Timix here, thanks for joining me. And this is Ernie's Paradise, the fourth race of the first All-Star Challenge. And the question here is, can anybody stop Zoe Sharp despite our crappy engine? And she may very well be the first person I've had just win every race in a challenge. Got a 47-point lead now, which is just over one race's worth. We've won every single race so far, and we're looking forward to doing the same thing in Yokohama with some probable rain. So last time we had race sprinklers plus rain, and could very well be in for the same treatment again. I'm expecting a wet race for sure. And the Evening Herald says, what are our main worries at the moment? I'm pretty much happy. And Zoe Sharp thrilled with winning her home race as an Australian, winning in Sydney. And we can see our engine, yikes, down there. It's 8th. We're still 9th on that rear wing, though. And these other parts, we're not doing as great on, except for the gearbox we're still doing great, but we're slowly slipping on those. However, and we're down to 4th now overall. Windsor's car is considered better than ours. However, we should be able to start putting some into performance soon. And cars finished, sponsors we'll get to later. So Yokohama is brakes, front wing, and suspension. And we're definitely going to want to work on these rear wings, get that reliability up. What little bit of effort we can put into performance, we'll do here. So apparently we're not ready yet to put the needed effort into performance. We want to get these rear wings functional, and it doesn't look like they're going to get that way for this race. They'll be below 100%, so we'll wait another race on those. But we'll get them close. Okay, so where are we at on our new part design? A few days. Oh, it's Surakov's birthday. How nice. Yeah, we'll throw a party. 100K isn't too much for us right now. Keep everybody happy. And we've got our new engine ready, so we'll be ready to start the next one. Rachel Adams tells us about that, and then wants us to know about the design center and how fantastic it is. 56 laps, 2.5 miles. Scuderia Rossini with the best suspension. We are 4th. Engine. Okay, we're going to want to do those two and this one as well. And we're just trying to get the components added up at this point, trying to get up to 5 components. So that's all we're doing here. So we don't want to add these because these are the no cost ones, and also this one reduces the build time. So So we can do till after this race, which means we'll get in some more money. We've already got enough for the next one. So a few more races and we'll be working on the one that we're going to use. What? Really? You're really reaching there, Chairwoman, and no, I'm not concerned about it. Okay. 800K up front for 4 races definitely looks like the best one here, because we're not going to use any of these low-level finish sponsors. There we go. That ought to get a lot of Kendrick off our back. Probably won't, but it should. Okay, yeah, 74%. Definitely not going to use those. So let's see how our car stacks up. It is still 4th. You can see, okay, see the engine's really boosted for a lot of the other teams, but not for us. We're 8th. Still number 1 there. 4th on brakes. 4th on suspension. 2nd on that. And 9th still on those rear wings despite being above average. 9th is above average. So Chariot Motor Group is absolutely horrible. Because they're the only one that's worse than that. All the way down at the bottom. Yikes. Okay. It's going to be heavy rain and really warm. So I'm going to go for... Thing is, I think I'm going to want the bonus to be on the softs first. And then hards, because softs to start the race. Well, we're both going to start in the back. So I think I'm probably going to go with hards. Yeah. And we're expected to be 5th and 8th. So now you can see us really sliding down the field. But, again, that hasn't stopped us yet. And I really do think that is temporary until we get the engine rolling. Alright, let's take a look at our weight stripping. And of course all the parts the same. For both 3 crucial parts, we'll end up at 345. 6 for Sharp, 3 for Piaget. And we're going to switch to soft tires to begin. Start really warm and then it's going to cool off today, so yeah, and I said I wanted to start on hards and then I didn't do it here. Awesome. Well, messed that up with Sharp, but we'll have her come right back in a brief bit here. So I just sort of got myself confused on what I was actually going to do. It's going to dip down into the mid-20s. Lots of other cars on hard tires. And the question is when the rain comes. The rain comes early, be on inters to start the race. And then who knows what happens later. Otherwise, we're probably going to want to start on hard tires. It's really going to depend. And I can't say that I know which is best. A Sharp in a minute 3. Well, this is a short enough track that I should be able to do both. But she's getting up there in the tire temp. So that's a good enough excuse to come in. Switch over to hards. Cool, so if it's the wrong arrow, which way do you want it? Telling me it's wrong doesn't tell me what to change. %. Not too thrilling. Let's do a little bit more acceleration. Let's try something like that. See how it works. And Piaget warming up even the hard tires at this temperature. I'm actually hoping I get to use them just because I haven't gotten to use them yet. They're, really durable and also really slow. So putting hard tires on means you're definitely taking the long view, but in a competition with no refueling, that's not at all a bad thing. Speed this up for a bit. So there's our race trim, and we're getting there on the hard tires. We'll switch Piaget over to the softs. It's down to 27, and it's going to get cooler. 90% on your first try. Let's try that. Just give it a whirl. And then speed things up. Almost everybody out here on hard tires. Okay, fine. You don't like the handling. We'll come in and we'll see what we can do with that. You don't want to stay on hard tires. max that out. 81% is better, but it's not good. So from very poor to great. Not sure which way I want to go with the downforce. So we want the handling to be on the understeer side. And go a little bit lower. Excuse me. Let's try that out before I get into any more particular tweaks. Piaget definitely struggling against the field here, that's for sure. I'm going to bring them both in. We've got hard tires. That's why Sharp is coming in. Hard tires are finished, and the tire temp's hitting for Piaget. Yep. So we're going to want to switch to softs. Then we hit 92%. We're right on for the speed. Very poor. Okay, so we want even more downforce. And then okay, poor. More understeer, more downforce. Let's try that. And that should put us in the upper 90s somewhere. Everything but the handling right on here. Still only 92%. The handling's pretty bad. Good. And okay. Yeah, you wanted more understeer as well. Let's try that. Get them both out there for 2 laps on this. It's even Sharp down to 12th, so we are not winning any awards with our times. There we go. Okay, both triple excellent. That's beautiful. Switch to mediums just because. Okay, both are at 98%, but I'm not really going to be able to improve it since they're all at excellent. So we're just going to leave it. Have them take whatever they can get out of mediums. And we're down to 24 degrees now. And interestingly, after finishing pretty high in the times in all the other practice sessions. But, again, I'm still not that worried about it because it's only practice. Everybody seems to be happy with the setup, and we're going to hit level 2 at least on the mediums. We're almost to a perfect practice of level 3 on all of them, but I don't think we're quite going to make that. Piaget up to 9th with that last lap. That's interesting. So, can Sharp bounce back from the practice session? Is our decreasing projection, according to the so-called experts, going to cause us problems in the race, or are we just going to control the action like usual from the back? We'll find that out once we take off to the starting grid. Well, we've got comments about our unimpressive practice, as we might have expected. Steinman getting all the accolades. And it really does pay to sweat the small stuff. Because in my first go at the setup here, I put on the wrong tires. So now we're going to try again. You can see it's a shorter version of the Yokohama track. Now we're going to go with hard tires, and I'm going to show why in a minute. We've got partly cloudy, no sign of rain. Now it doesn't mean it's not going to rain, but it's not going to rain for the first half of the track. You never know when sprinklers might come out. But it does look like the hard tires, which get us through over half of the race, there's nothing in the weather to indicate that's not the right move. And we're going down to 40 laps per our usual deal. And what I did here before is I accidentally gave Zoe Sharp mediums, or soft tires, which is not what we want. So, going to go aggressive. And I do believe this is the farthest back that Surikov has started yet. Or close to it anyway. In row 8 alongside Dieter Wexler with a 6. Look at Saarinen's 9. That's going to be problematic. Although you really shouldn't be using used tires for the race, you idiot. Sharp with a 6 also. Chapman as well. So a lot of people driving solid. Sharp, of course, used to coming from the back. Surikov not as good at that. So I'm kind of curious. He's been starting in 12th or 13th. Curious to see how he does. Answer is he gets off to a good start while Sharp just sort of hangs out at the back. And Surikov up a couple spots early to 13th. Up to 12th, and he's the top car with the hard tires on. He's got a bunch of softs in front, a few mediums, and then a bunch of hards in the back. And that's the usual routine. So Sharp up to, was 16th, now 17th. And this is, I believe, the first time in this LP that I have done hard tires at all. And we're like 70-some episodes deep. So that gives you an idea of what we're looking at in terms of how rare they are. Now Surikov up to 10th, Sharp 15th. So once again, we're outperforming the other top challengers. Early on, we have a point. Steinman has 15. Steinman has 25. Okay, so Holtz with a quick start. But Holtz hasn't been a top performer, so we will eventually get up there, I'm sure. But if this were to hold, obviously Steinman breaking away with us. So 8th and 14th. Oh, we're already in lap 3 and I'm blathering on. Let's go back to mediums. Forgotten how fast the laps go by, so I'm halfway through the 3rd lap. And now we'll see if Surikov can hold in 7th. But Sharp up in 14th is a nice place to be. And the thing is, our tires are going to get a little hot, but they'll last for a bit longer. Surikov having trouble holding off Schmitz, who of course has the better tires, which will also wear out faster. So, and now Surikov looking like he wants to get by Woodford. Lundqvist making the pass, but then Surikov gets it back. Sharp in 13th. So we have the top 2 drivers on hard tires. That makes me feel pretty darn good about things. Still no sign of rain at any point. Surikov up to 6th, past Woodford. Sharp up to 12th, past Moreno. So both drivers really doing pretty well here in the early going. 6-2, 6-4. Quality driving, which is something we have not seen this year. Everything very positive early on here at Yokohama. Sharp up to 11th, now 10th. And already complaining about Schmidt. Now Holtz off to a big lead. I don't remember where Holtz started. I wonder if I can see that. Yeah. So Nina Holtz is in first, but started 10th, so quickly moved up through the field past the others. Okay. And then is now basically running away with it. Don't often get a chance to really use the data center, but that was a nice use of it. Surikov lost the battle with Flores, now going by again up to 5th. 5th and 10th. And that would put us, you know, not too great for this race, about 5th, but getting some significant points. But we haven't seen a breakaway from a driver of Holtz's caliber, so it's going to be interesting to see if that holds or if we can track her down. Surikov is gaining on Holtz, but that is not the case for Sharp, although Sharp has moved up to 8th, so maybe eventually. Want to keep our eye on that weather. 27 degrees, and so far so good, no sign of rain. When do they bring the sprinklers out, if at all? And Sharp has gained about a second on Holtz, and now is being slowed up again by Flores. So this is the issue. How much time do you lose battling through traffic? Because you know Sharp's going to make this pass eventually, but she's also going to lose time for however long it takes her to get there. Almost lost that position, battling alongside, and now we're going to get it. So up to 7th. Sharp in 5th, or Surikov in 5th rather, behind de Graaf. And they've had some interesting battles this year. May not be able to, you know, on hard versus soft tires, although the soft tires are going away pretty quickly. So maybe Surikov can make a move here. Still another lap or so probably on the medium until we have to back off the tires a bit. And there's Sharp with the fastest lap of the race so far. Getting that gap down to about 10 seconds again. And coming up on Schmidt. There's Surikov looking to make that pass, but not able to do so. There's Schmidt turning on the speed. So now we're all clumped up here. And Sharp looking to get by. And does. Well, Surikov, it's time for you to let him through. Oh, maybe not. Race. Yeah, because Schmidt went by. So the battling with Schmidt continues. And meanwhile, Holtz pulls away. There's Sharp overcoming Schmidt. And it's close enough traffic, I think I just gotta let everybody race. Although I will go conserve a little bit earlier on the tires for Surikov. There we go, now there's Sharp. Oh, Surikov going back ahead. Ugh. Sharp drops back to 7th. That didn't exactly work out the way I wanted it to. So now 6th and 7th. And we're in a pack of... Oh, okay. 4th and 5th as some drivers pit. But we're in a pack of group 2nd behind Steinman and Holtz. And I don't understand why Sharp's having such a time. But I'm going to move Surikov back up to neutral. Still no sign of rain. Could Surikov actually beat Sharp in this race? I don't see it, but you never know. And there's Sharp taking the spot again. And the tire temperatures are holding pretty steady now. 27 seems to be about a break-even point. Sharp looking for a way by Schmidt. And has it. And de Graaf has no tires left. We're going to get that spot. 14 seconds behind Holtz. That's a big gap. Let's see if that closes at all. Already is. But we could be seeing the first loss that we have. Just because how quickly Holtz was able to get to the front. This is a long time to gain. Now we're about a third of the way into this race. And that's a long gap to build up. We've already gotten a second off of it though. So we'll see. Weather's still... Okay, it is going to rain towards the end. And we're not going to make it to lap 42. There's no way. So when do we want to pit? Yeah, to get to like lap 44. I think I just want to burn these out as much as we can and then run softs. Zoe Sharp, fastest lap, cutting that lead down. Surikov unable to get by Schmidt. At least right now. Sharp really, I mean, it's almost 3 seconds now that we've erased. But still quite a bit to go. And Surikov not quite close enough to Schmidt. I mean, if he was... Well, I say that. We get up really close here. Let me try to push. I've got a little bit of gap with the tire there. Let me try this. Yeah, I don't think it's happening. We're just going to try to stay up behind. Wexler is close behind there, but Schmidt is slowing slow enough that Sharp is pulling away, but hasn't cut much more into the lead now. Question, to time this out to get to 44 laps. I'd like to get a few more in, maybe, yeah, I want to run these tires out. Run these tires out and switch to soft. I think that's the play. Holtz and Schmidt's tires now having issues as we switch to hybrid for the first time. And really the fact that Sharp could get by and Surikov couldn't. That's really a significant difference between them here. Sharp starting to gain again, has now erased a full third of that lead. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to be able to make it or not. Holtz now into the pit. And going on softs and burning her energy as much as she can. Surikov at 31%, so we're going to want to watch that. As Schmidt's about to come in. But I think we're going to lose the spot anyway. Well, I thought we were going to there, to Wexler. Now, Wexler's got tire problems, so I'm thinking Surikov probably can hold him off at least until the pit. I'm hoping so. Go harvest again. And I'm going to go around one more time. Might be a mistake with Surikov. He might be just a little bit light there. Both drivers are going to come in for softs. Form holding pretty good. Of course, it'd be great to be in first and second. That's probably not going to happen. So we're going to be looking to get about 17 laps out of these. And we'll have no choice really but to conserve. Sharp out in 7th. Surikov in 11th. So that drops us way down in the points. But a number of other cars not coming in yet. Among cars who have pit, we are 2nd and 5th. And that would be a lot more respectable. Surikov trying to hold off Saarinen, so far doing it. And Sharp right in the middle of the battle here. But some other cars going in. And we're about 10 seconds or so behind Holtz. Looks like Sharp now racing for 2nd place. And Surikov, perhaps 4th? I think I want to go conserve for a bit there. And definitely with both. Because neither is near traffic, and we're going to have to be conserving most of the time, I would imagine. Oh, Sharp really gaining on Holtz now. Just when I think, you know, he probably isn't going to make it, gains a bunch, and then I start looking at it and it goes back up. Who knows? But over time, they're definitely improving. So both drivers with a decent gap, especially Surikov, if we can hold off Wexler. Gonna have to watch that gap. And Holtz at the moment stuck behind a fading Chapman. I think that's what's getting Sharp some time here. And here's Surikov now coming up. Oh, I was going to go more aggressive, but then Schmidt said, nah, it's not really a good idea. Chapman in now. Sharp got that gap down to just over 5 seconds. We'll have to see how that plays. And Surikov gonna go after the chase again. So constantly switching back and forth, but I do still think Surikov's where the action's gonna be. We're gonna have Oliveira come in here. And it could be Surikov and Schmidt for that third place. And it's time to go hybrid. And Sharp overall seeming to be losing time now. Holtz driving better and also driving more aggressively. We'll try to make up that time at the end and may or may not succeed in doing so. Surikov up to 6.8 and trying to make a charge on Schmidt. Schmidt's tires are going to last longer. So I think I want to go for it now. Got to go for that when it's fresh. Reasonably. And I've got a little bit of, you know, temperature to play with. Not sure that I have much here to play with, but I'm going to go for it. This seems to be a key moment in the race. Let's get by. Well, that didn't work. Meanwhile, Sharp has lost 2.5 seconds back to Holtz. Good grief. Am I even going to be able to hold off Wexler? No. Slips to 5th. And I've got to go beat him and conserve. So, Surikov being given his medicine there. Switch back to Harvest. And now Surikov close behind Wexler and Schmidt, but close behind is not going to get it done. So if we stayed here, 2nd and 5th, we would actually lose narrowly to Steinman, still gaining on the others. I can live with that. Chapman up to 6th. And here comes the first bit of rain, a little bit sooner than expected. Sharp has gained about a second back, but has still lost distance overall here to Holtz. I don't... Right now, I just don't see it happening. It'd take one heck of a finish. And now we're going to have to go conserve again. So we're just going to watch the water. And whenever it gets wet enough, we will come in. Not yet. See where we are when we come around this time. Holt's going in. Let's push up to neutral here. And now we'll come in for this next set. Make sure that I got everything. And Vidal crashes. Only a partial caution there. Switch up to neutral. So Sharp's in 6th, Surikov in 8th. And less than 7 seconds behind Holtz again. Right now we want to run down. Looking pretty good, actually. I think we want to turn on the speed a bit for Sharp. Not quite as good there. We did use some earlier. Nope, you really shouldn't. Surikov going by Gonzalez. And Sharp's going to make some passes here. Going by the cars that do not have the proper tires. Oh, come on, get by. Don't sit behind Schmidt. Get by. There we go. And the gap's about what it was. A little under 7 seconds. Yep, I think we got to back off now. And we'll go hybrid with both of them just in case we want to push a little bit later. Got a good gap here, so I want to go conserve. About 8 laps left. Surikov up to 5th. Definitely going to get by Chapman and Schmidt. So I think we got 2nd and 3rd, and Holtz with that breakaway. Now it's assuming we can hold off Wexler, which is anything but a given. But if we can, so 2nd and 3rd, maybe 2nd and 4th. Steinman, right now we're even with him. But Chapman's going to fall farther if he doesn't go in, and he's going to fall farther if he does go in. So I think that we're going to win another race. In terms of the team. Whoa, 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 conserve. Sharp is not going to win though. So you gotta say good job, Nina Holtz. Sharp's first loss of the season. And not at all a dominant thing for us, because we're gaining a little bit on Rossini and a little bit on Steinman, but not a lot. You can see Surikov just sort of waiting. I'm just going to ride along with him. Waiting as there's 5 laps to go for Wexler to charge. And here it comes. Trying to hold off, and now I'm going to go neutral. And pick up the pace. Oh, good. Well, I'm going to try to match. Come on, stay ahead. Oh my, but I'm not as worried about that as I am that guy behind you. That might have done it, and it might not, because Wexler isn't going away. How much energy does he have? Yeah, he's still got some. Go high with Sharp as well. Surikov trying to hold it off and failing. We'll keep pushing, but it looks like we dropped to 4th. What does that do for us? We still win narrowly. Doesn't look like there's anything we can do to stop Wexler. Yeah, 8 seconds plus. So we never really got it lower than about 5 seconds and change with Sharp. Holtz just bolted to the front. And we'll find that more difficult in the next race, being further back. But Surakov's saying doesn't quite have enough fuel, so let's... Okay. All the top drivers really finishing up near the top. So that race was just basically a punt. First one we didn't dominate. First one that another driver won. And we essentially maintained our lead, plus gained a little bit, I think. Wexler getting the fastest lap bonus. That's not going to help us. We had some fast laps early, but couldn't hold it. Almost a 9-second gap. Surakov in fourth. And Surakov will maintain the same position. Lipinen going down, Wexler and Holtz going up. So Holtz will be starting 14th instead of 10th this time. Really tight race in here. Wexler, Surakov, and Holtz. And yeah, so we were up by 47. Now we're up by 46. So it looks like we lost a point off the lead. Steinman and Scuderi Rossini sort of splitting the royalties behind us. Really close, but basically an even race. And it looks like the best race of the year form-wise for both drivers. And now off to Beijing, which is the last one. Yeah, the engine's going to be critical, so we're going to suck there. But it's the last one before we get into all the ones that we need the better rear wing for. And so now as we've hit the quarter pole, and we've still got a solid lead, but it's not a dominant lead, and you know, if that race was any indication, we just sort of split with them. So if they're catching up like that, this could turn to be a little bit more challenging than I thought. We'll have to see. So we'll be off to Beijing next time as we stay in Asia. And thanks for watching. We'll come back with that soon as Ernie's Paradise rolls on.